What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the STR Investing Podcast. I am your host, Mark Lumpkin, and I'm bringing you another Monday Market Data Report. This week, we are breaking down none other than the Scottsdale, Arizona market. For the sake of this conversation, we are going to lump together Phoenix and Scottsdale in a lot of these numbers. And I try my best to do that, but if I miss something and it only says Scottsdale or only says Phoenix, please forgive me. But for the sake of this conversation, we're going to lump these two together, the greater Phoenix area. And there's a lot of people out there that say that Scottsdale, Arizona is oversaturated. And with a little over 22,000 short-term rentals, might make sense. And they might have a valid argument. However, I think the numbers are going to tell us otherwise. I'm also going to talk about a strategy that's been put together by STR Search and how you can still win in a highly saturated market, in a highly competitive market like Scottsdale, Arizona. So without further ado, let's just get right into it, guys. Let's talk about the big picture in Scottsdale, Arizona. Arizona hit a record of $30 billion in visitor spending last year, which is crazy. Scottsdale occupancy is up 10% year over year, and the Phoenix occupancy is up 14% year over year, with making it one of the top performing markets as far as growth in travel in the entire country. And so having that in mind, like, we know this is a massive market. We've got a total of a little over 20 million visitors to Scottsdale in 2024. Those are the most recent numbers I could find. And that was like a 2.5% growth from 2023. So the market in general is growing. There's a lot of visitors coming. They're spending a lot of money, and they're coming, really, a lot of them are coming from stateside. So a lot of them are traveling from California, and then we see a huge amount traveling from the northern large cities like Chicago, Philadelphia, where it's cold in the winter and they want to get out and get to somewhere fun, get to somewhere warm. Scottsdale seems to be a top destination. And let's talk about the three big drivers of guests and travelers to the Scottsdale Phoenix market. Number one is going to be golf courses. Guys, we've got over 200 golf courses in the greater Phoenix area, which is nuts. That's a lot of golf courses. I'm not quite sure how they're watering all that grass because I know they don't have any water out there, but that's a lot of golf courses and a main driver of what brings people to this market. Number two is going to be bachelorette and bachelor parties. You get a huge number of bachelor parties coming in. Old Town is always popping. There's lots of bars, there's lots of clubs, and it's a place that people like to go with groups of friends and travel and celebrate kind of some of those big occasions. The third thing is just going to be large events. There's always something happening in Scottsdale, Phoenix, whether it's the Barrett-Jackson, whether it's MLB spring training. There's all kinds of events that come in and they bring people from all over the country and all over the globe. We actually see a lot of Canadian travelers bookmark Scottsdale, Phoenix as one of their destinations. And so don't discount the international travelers as well, even though we know that a lot of people are coming from the States. And so what else do we know about the short-term rental market specifically in Scottsdale alone? Well, one, we know that there is 20,000 short-term rentals, active listings, about 21,000 total. We know that that average daily rate is around $300 a night. It jumps during peak season, up about 25% to almost $400 a night. We know that the average occupancy sits somewhere in the mid-60s, about 65% annually, and that in the peak season, it hits closer to 85%. So you're booked pretty much all year round at a high occupancy, but in the peak season, you're definitely booked. We know that the average 3-bedroom makes somewhere between 50 to 70 grand, with top percenters earning well over 150 grand. So there's definitely a premium that people are willing to pay for top performers in this market. And like we said earlier, guys, the market's growing like crazy. And so with a lot of new travelers, there creates a void, a gap, an opportunity to set up a highly profitable short-term rental. And so I want to dive into the data and the strategy that STR Search has provided to win in a highly competitive market. We know there's a lot of listings, but we know there's huge traveler demand. And so Here's their strategy to win in the short-term rental game if you're setting up a new property in Scottsdale, Phoenix. This market is not saturated, guys. A lot of gurus online, a lot of people on social media will tell you that it's saturated, but we're seeing clients win over and over again. And so here's what you need to focus on. If you take the 23,000 Airbnbs in Phoenix and Scottsdale and you only focus on 5+ bedrooms, you immediately go to 2,163 listings. That's 10%. You filter out 90% of your competition if you have a 5+ bedroom. Number 2, you have to have a pool. It's a non-negotiable in Scottsdale having a nice in-ground pool. Well, you filter by pools, that leaves you with 1,991 listings. So we've filtered out another couple percent. You must have a hot tub. That filters out another 700 listings and gets you down to 1,209 listings. You allow pets, that gets you down to 596 listings. You add a fire pit, that gets you down to 450 listings left. And so here you go. We started with almost 23,000 comps, and we filtered by bedrooms, pools, hot tub, pet friendly, and we get down to less than 450 people in our comp set that we're competing with. That's how you win, guys. It's relatively simple. You've got to buy the right house. You've got to set it up properly. You've got to do a professional design. You've got to focus on the amenities that will drive revenue and that will limit your competition. And obviously, I'd love to help you set one up. We've been in that market for years. We're currently setting up a crazy house with a lazy river. I'm excited to share that with all of you on social media. But there you go, guys. That's Scottsdale, Phoenix in a nutshell. It can be a great market. Many people that say it's oversaturated. I understand why they're saying that because there's so many listings. But when you look at the amount of listings compared to the amount of travelers, it can still be a great market. And when you use STR Search's strategy of filtering and focusing on the right property, you really limit the amount of competition. You're not competing with 23,000. You're only competing with 450. That's a recipe to win. I hope you guys enjoyed this new format. We will bring you another guest speaker this Friday. Tune in, like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys this Friday. Thanks.